another project in all of its glory. Picked up a 2001 Dodge Ram 2500 with the 5.9 liter V8 in it. Not the diesel, unfortunately. Not too bad a shape. Got a couple rust spots, like surface rust along here. Nothing terrible. Coming back here, some more behind the rear wheel. The wheel is not in the best shape either, but hey, it's a work truck. Got us some lights back here, toolbox, bed. I'm debating doing a bed liner on it, so that might change. Not too rusty, not too terrible, definitely seen a lot worse. Tailgate is decent. Again, seen a lot worse. Coming over here, behind this wheel, that's where the worst rust is on the body. Looks like it's just surface, so could be worse. Now coming to the interior, it's not terrible. The door panel's still there, no cracks or anything. It is missing the window and lock button. Seat is not torn. Overall, pretty decent shape. This, somebody put this over the dash because the dash is pretty much completely gone under there. Not even any tears on the armrest. Kind of crazy. Back seats look great. It even has a freaking TV in it. Wild. Headliner's sagging a bit. Driver's side, again, no rips on the seats. Honestly wild for these second gens. A little bit of wear right there, but that's not even bad. It is manual swapped, so that's cool. It's got a NV 3500 5-speed manual in there. Windshield is a little cracked. Not too bad. Not too bad. So, a little more backstory on this. Guy up in Idaho posted it for $1,500 and said that it was a crank no start condition. So I hit him up and I was like, send me a video of you cranking it over so I can see if any lights on the dash are lighting up and just to hear what it sounds like. He responded and the truck was running and he was like, dude, it hasn't started for like 24 hours. I don't understand why it just started. So I was like, interesting. Asked him a whole bunch of questions. He kind of does the same thing as me where he buys and sells vehicles. And he replaced a bunch of stuff on this, like the distributor, the cap and rotor. He said crank position sensor and cam position sensor. I don't know if it was just one or the other, or if it was both, but tried that. He said that compression is good. He said he's getting spark, and I can hear the fuel pump kicking on, and if you hit the Schrader valve on the fuel rail, fuel comes pouring out and the exhaust smells like gas. So I don't think that we are missing fuel. I think this is going to be a simple sensor thing. So let's get into it. First things first, I am letting the battery charge up over here. Terminals are quite loose. I'm going to let this charge for another little bit and then I'm going to tighten those up, crank it over, and hopefully I get some check engine light, some codes that I can pull so I can at least get a head start, know where I'm going. If not, we'll just do basic diagnosis. What's it missing? Fuel, air, spark, figure it out, go from there, get this thing on the road, flip it, and make some money. So let's dive right in, guys. All right, so cranking this thing over just so we have a baseline for, oh, look at that, power seats still work too. Should have already known that, but sometimes when you drive 8 hours, you just buy the car anyway. So. I can smell the fuel. I can just smell it. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so that's what it's doing. It's just... We are getting a check engine light, so at least there's that. Get the code reader. Code reader's working. All right, let's get through this. ABS codes, US, 2001, truck, Dodge, Ram 2500 4x4. Powertrain control module internal controller malfunction. Shit. Well, let's research that. That evap code we can wait on, but I want to see what that powertrain code is. After doing some research, that P0601 code is essentially the ECM running its internal checks, and when it fails one of those checks internally, it'll throw that code. Probably means something screwed up inside of it. That is where it is right there. Very easy to get to. I'm gonna pull it off, look at the connectors, see if there's anything obvious in there, and then, I don't know, kind of go from there. Hopefully we can take some readings from it and verify that it is bad before we just fire the parts cannon. Okay, let's go ahead and get that thing out. There we go. Let's look at these connectors real quick. Doesn't look like anything crazy. Yeah, nothing going on there. Let's see, what do we need? 10 mil? No, 8 mil. Alright, got it out. Nothing crazy going on. No burnt pins or anything in there. I did see on one of the forums that it is more than likely a piece of the board has come unsoldered. If that were the case and I was able to just resolder it, put it back in, and we're good to go, that would be awesome. That would be super awesome. So let's go over to the workbench, pull this thing open, and see if we see anything crazy. Back in the shop now. Let's open this up and see what we see. Cross your fingers at home that there's something obviously disconnected or burnt up or otherwise screwy that I can fix. New PCMs are like $270 for this. So even if I do have to go the route of just replacing it. Oh, and I guess I didn't mention that code being an internal fault code. People that had that code said straight up just replace the PCM, like that is the issue. Since the truck is manual swapped, I looked into what kind of wiring needed to be done to throw that manual in there and have it work with the automatic transmission setup. And it doesn't seem like it needed a whole lot. These trucks are pretty basic. Oh man, sealed. I guess that makes sense with how easy that cover was to remove. Blow this off real quick. Damn it. Yeah, if I start digging that out of there, it's just all gonna get torn up. Well, crap. I guess the only thing I can do right now to confirm that this is the issue is go back to the truck. I'm gonna go over the wiring harness where it goes to the transmission, and hopefully there's nothing janky there. Or hopefully there is. Then we can just forget about this whole deal here. But if there's nothing janky there, if everything's checking out, then we will just go ahead and replace this guy. Yippee. All right, fingers crossed. Back to the truck. So the harness runs up through here, across the top, and then it splits off to wherever it needs to go, right? So we got it right there. Piece of it comes over here into the ABS block. A lot of it goes into here in the fuse panel. Let's go underneath. All right, Alright, so I think I might have found something interesting under here. I was looking at the manual swap, and it doesn't look like any of the wires are really wrong or screwed up. Like, there's nothing obvious. But I found this guy behind the right wheel well. That plug is melted, like just cooked. Maybe I'm tripping. To me, that looks not good. Something's up there. I'm gonna try and get this apart now, and maybe we'll see something in there. Let's get this thing off. So after some pulling and scraping, that was JB Weld. Somebody just goobed a bunch of JB Weld all over this thing, and I've got it out maybe a centimeter, and now it's just a personal vendetta. I need to get this thing apart, figure out what the hell's going on in here. I hope there's a burnt pin in here, and that's what's making the PCM go crazy. Got the connector apart. Just want to say, whoever put that JB Weld on this connector, you are literally brain dead. Never touch a car again. Anyway, it was a pain, but we got it. The fruits of our labor were not rewarded. There is nothing going on in here. All of our pins are nice. So I'm just going to plug this back in, put it back up where it goes, and continue looking at the harness. So underneath, I wasn't really seeing much of anything aside from that plug that was covered in the JB Weld. So before I keep going, I'm going to put the PCM back in and reconnect the battery and try it again. The dude was jumping the battery a lot the past couple days. Maybe it died enough to the point where the PCM threw that code and shut itself down. I don't know that this PCM is that advanced. I doubt it is, but just kind of process of elimination. Let's see if that does anything. So let's slap this PCM back in. I'm gonna do my damnedest to make this a one and done. No parts cannon, none of that. Just taking my time with the diagnosis to make sure that it's the right diagnosis the first time. That's always the goal, but this one I'm gonna really make a conscious effort to do that. Connect that up again. Alright, crossing your fingers? I sure hope so. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Even though I didn't do anything. I know I didn't do anything. Whoa, dumbass. Let's go ahead and pull that code again. So the code didn't come back. I have a feeling that that doesn't really matter. No luck there. Standing here, I can just smell all of the fuel. It's getting fuel, just doesn't want to fire. And like I said, the code did not come back. We still have an evap system code, but that wouldn't cause it to not start. Kind of interesting. Very interesting indeed. We're gonna go just right into diagnosis mode now and check spark. We know fuel is good, so I'm thinking it'll be a spark issue. Got my inline testers here. I'll have the camera watching these, try to start it, come back, watch the video, see what happens. So let's see what it does. Okay, so as you can see, it was not getting any spark. So I know that the guy I bought it from said that he did a distributor cap. I can't remember if he said he did the rotor or not, but I can confirm he did the distributor cap, because looking back here, hopefully, oh my goodness. Right there, that is one of the distributor cap bolts. It's allowing the whole cap to move. That's not great. So I'm going to disconnect all of these spark plug wires, pull that bolt out, pull the other side bolt out, take this cap off, and see what we got going on. Maybe it's chewed up, maybe it's not. Yeah, kind of just see what's going on here. Does not look like it sustained any damage, thankfully. Does look brand new. Maybe when it's cranking, it's shaking just enough, or it's moving out of the way just enough to where the rotor can't get good continuity through here. I don't know. That is straight up just guessing. I'm gonna put this on. We're gonna try to start it, and if we still don't have spark, then we're going to check the feed coming into the distributor, because it has power coming in, right, and then it distributes from there. So put this back in, we'll see if we have spark. All right, so distributor's back in, tighten this time. Those are the inline spark testers. Fingers crossed, let's go. Come on, Dodge. I don't even have to watch that video back. I know we're not getting spark. I can smell it again. Lots of fuel. So now we are going to go over to this guy right here, which is the ignition coil. I'm going to put one of my inline testers on this guy now, and we'll see if this is at least shooting spark out. If it's not, then we're dealing with a sensor issue, that thing's faulty, or PCM's fried. I don't think the check engine light has come back yet, so I'm still leaning towards that or a sensor, but we'll see. Perfect angle. All right, let's see. Internal controller malfunction. Came back. Yeah, that's PCM all day long. Unfortunately, needs an ECM. So, as we saw there, still no spark. While I was in the cab starting it, cranking it over, well, yeah, not starting it, cranking it over, I plugged the scan tool back in because the check engine light was back up, and I assumed it would be just for the evap, but that powertrain module code came back, the internal fault, P0601. Yeah, P0601. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to call it a day out here. I am going to hunt down some forums, talk to people that are more knowledgeable about these second gens than I am, and order a PCM, it looks like. Oh, and a radiator, because this radiator has been dripping all day. The previous owner, or the one previous to him, was a sneaky little turkey, and he stuffed a rag in that freaking frame rail to keep it from dripping coolant. Fair play, mister, whoever you are. Well played. All right, we're back in business. Got our new ECM, new mic, so you can actually understand me, and it doesn't sound like AIDS. Let's disconnect the battery, slap the ECM in, cross our fingers, pray that this thing just fires right up. I really need a win like that. I really need a win like that. Disconnect the cable. Smells interesting out here. Oh, all right, let's go slap the ECM in. It's been like, oh man, 2 weeks since I worked on this thing. Old ECM, same jam. Beautiful. They say to unplug the battery and wait 30 minutes. Since I'm documenting this on YouTube, if I have to have a warranty claim, I don't want that to be the reason that I don't get a warranty. I might plug it in and it's just not right. I've checked everything. So 30 minutes? All right, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Let's put this in. Come on now, mate. All right. I don't know what it is, but today my hands have been sweating so damn bad. I just can't hold on to anything. I am going to get some carb cleaner, clean those connectors, dielectric grease, plug them in, battery plugged in, then we'll start it. I could seriously use a win. A vehicular win. Ow! Found the only cut I have on my hand. Thank you. Squeaky clean. We gotta have it squeaky clean. There is no lint, no towel lint. So don't comment, why are you using a paper towel? Or whatever, a shop towel. It's okay. It's okay. I think of these things. You might not even comment that. All right, we got our dielectric grease. Give it a good, nice little spread on the connector. Dude, what is crawling on my skin, dude? The bugs are everywhere. They're in my skin. Please don't go on my skin. I'm gonna give the ECU a blessing real quick, and the truck as a whole. Amen. Amen. Ooh. Please no sparks and poofs from that corner. I mean, it's only just it's a fucking battery. Like, if I'm gonna get scared at a battery, why the hell am I making a YouTube channel about working on cars? I'm really going full-blown bananas today. I'm real talkative. I want this truck to start up so bad, dude. And I want it to start and not sound like garbage. The dude sent me a video of it running, and it didn't sound bad, but I swear to you, if he pulled a fast one on me, and that was like a video right before catastrophic destruction, and he like toasted the ECM on purpose. These are the things I think about. I know that most people aren't like that, but you never know. So I'm gonna go, and we're gonna cross our fingers that there's no check engine light. If that's good, we'll crank it over. Pray. Pray. Key on, check engine light is off, truck is in neutral. Check engine light is back on. Plug the scanner in. Huh, we're getting O2 sensor codes. That's better. Let's erase those. It's interesting, it's just O2 sensor codes and an evap code. Let's get some diagnostics equipment, huh? All right, we're gonna see if our boy right there is getting spark. Please glow. But also please don't. Maybe there's something else that's messing with the spork. All right, so clearly, as we saw in the last clip, not getting any spark. Good news is we do not have any really bad trouble codes popping up. I'll take that for what it's worth. Got O2 sensor codes, got an evap canister code. But yeah, so we're not getting anything out of the primary ignition coil. No spark, no sparky. I'm gonna test it to make sure that it's getting the proper voltage and that ground is present. Because how that works is the ECM will send 12 volts on one wire. It'll supply a constant 12 volt to that coil, and then the ECU will internally switch the ground that goes to it to collapse the magnetic field in the coil that pushes a shit ton of voltage to the distributor cap. So as long as we're getting 12 volts to there and we're getting pretty good ground, I would guess that the ignition coil would be the next thing. I don't like parts avalanches. I mean, we're only 2 parts in right now, but please don't be more. Please. I don't know which wire is which yet. Fook. So that's the plug. Can you see that? Yeah, that's the plug for the ignition coil. We got a green wire and what looks to be a black wire. Oh, that's green and brown. Green and light brown, if you're keeping score at home. So we'll test the ground first. It might not give me anything because the truck is off. Where's a good ground? There's good ground. Let's go turn it on. All right, so it's on now. Let's go. I guess we'll check power since it's on now. I don't really know why I tried to check ground with the vehicle off, but we'll check power. Stick our guy in there, stick our other guy over here. Well, butter my biscuits. That ain't necessarily a good thing. Butter my biscuits and call me Peach. All right, I need to call in the heavies. I need to call in a second pair of hands. Okay, so it is in gear. The key is on right now. Give me a sec. Okay, go for it. One sec. Okay. Thank you, sir. You can turn the key off. Okay, so what we just saw there, it's doing something, so that's good. I saw 8 to 9 volts and then it was dropping to 7. I gotta look up what this truck wants, but that does sound a little low to me. Let me do some research. I'll be right back. All right, so I did confirm it has to have full battery voltage at that wire and then the pulsed ground to the coil. Then it'll work. So the fact that we are only getting 8 volts, it's not cutting it. It's just not gonna go kablamo in the cylinders. So let's start doing some electrical diag with the wire that's going to the distributor, or not the distributor, the ignition coil. See if it's shorted to anything. Maybe it is. Looking at where it goes under there, it's kind of, it goes in like, oh wait, no, it goes up over here. Could have got pinched somewhere in here. I can see it. You can't see it, but I can see it. Anyway, let's see if it's shorted to ground. No, I don't think it's shorted. I think it's gonna be high resistance, a high resistance issue. Something in there ain't vibing, and it just wants to be a little turkey. It wants to be a little turkey. Let's set it right here so you can see my multimeter as I'm testing this. Plug. So we got it on ohms. Ohm. Man, I'm fucking, oh, you know what? I'm gonna unplug the ECU. That way, it should be no continuity anywhere. And that will give us a great indication of if this thing has issues or not. So ECM's unplugged, battery is disconnected. So we got one in the green, and then one to ground. Well, that's fun, isn't it? It's just jumping and hopping and acting like a moron. Oh, baby. We might be, we might be shorted somewhere. It's like partially, because it yeah. Okay. What about the ground side of things? That shorted to ground at all? Nah, or on. So, just to recap, to kind of go over what I'm thinking here. So what I'm thinking, based off of what I know about electrical theory, if there is a slight slight short to ground, it's gonna pull that voltage down because the electricity is wanting to flow multiple different paths. So that's actually it's a good theory. Thanks, Milo. You're welcome, Milo. Thank you. I'm losing my marbles. Let's figure this out. I'm gonna crawl up in there and pull and look at shit and try to find where this thing's screwing up. The wire is going up behind the alternator into this harness right here, and it is actually uncovered right there instead of having this plastic shielding on it. Don't you do that, boy. What in the Mickey Mouse fuck is that? Dudes be touching shit that they shouldn't. Don't work on your car if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Quit doing this goofy ass shit. That harness sure is lovely to get to. Ugh, I shouldn't be kneeling on the fan shroud. So it's not touching anything. Okay, so I moved that clear out of the way. Now, let's go back to this. Grab our plug that fell. No! There you go. Alright, so we got our positive and the positive. And then the negative to the negative. Okay. That come unplugged from my multimeter? No. Okay. So notice that this time the resistance is significantly higher than what it was before I started messing around with that harness. Probably means that it's from that plug to where it gets into the harness right here. The wires are rubbed through, the wires are touching each other. Something funky is going on in that general direction. So I need to figure out how to unclip that harness, pull it out so that I can see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so it goes up in here. Oh, it's not even clipped in. It's just kind of draped. It's like a suggestion. They're like, yeah, put it in. Just throw it down in the engine bay. That's good. Nah, actually, I'm thankful for that. Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? Oh, I'm like a kid on Christmas. Yep. That would explain it. Somebody did a shit thing. Bingo. 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 Butt connectors. You may think I'm foolish. You may think I'm crazy. You may think I'm an asshole. But I've had terrible luck with butt connectors unless I do them. But if anybody else does it, they mostly fail because people don't wrap it in electrical tape. They think they can just go clamp, clamp, good to go. Not the case. I really think that these two were, yeah, dude, like look. Oh man, my camera skills will improve at some point, I promise. So the fucking positive is like sticking out. You may not think that anything can touch that, but when there's a perfectly good ground sitting right next to it, I mean, okay, what if this isn't the issue? I guess I'll just go die. No. How I operate is I repair the most obvious thing first, and then I work my way down the line, right? And if you've worked on anything, you probably do the same sort of thing. If this isn't the issue, oh well, I still fixed a failure point that's clearly not hanging on very well. So let's solder it. Let's do it correctly. And then let's plug it in and see if it works. I'm not gonna film me soldering it because you know what soldering looks like. I'll just show you the finished product and plug it in, we'll be good to go. Fingers crossed, hopefully, maybe. All right, now this is a this is a proper electrical fix. Now, we're gonna wrap it in electrical tape, put it back in the harness, cross your fingers that it runs now. Oh my God, I need it. I need it. Oh my God, I need it. I don't like need it, but I like need it. I need you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. I'm just gonna drape this over like this. Draped up to that drip mountain. And then we're gonna plug that bad boy right back in. Oh man, where'd it go? There it go. Oh nice, it doesn't even clip in because the connector's broken a little bit. All right, moment of truth. Please, Heavenly Father, hear me. Battery reconnected. Oh shit, wait. I forgot that the ECM was unplugged. My blinders are up. I run straight to the money. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. All right, please, please, truck. Fingers crossed. Not super hopeful, but also hopeful. Oh my gosh! Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby. Yes! That's how it's done, motherfuckers. Okay, so last night, I got real hyped that this thing started. I was so freaking anxious that I was gonna start it up and like it was gonna start smoking or like the engine was gonna sound like shit, you know? I brought it up yesterday that I thought the worst. Like, oh, this guy probably screwed me over. He probably fried that PCM on purpose, yada, yada, yada. I'm so glad that that's not the case. I went and just took it around the block. Didn't take it far because it doesn't have coolant in it. And it runs great. I mean, it needs work. And that's what I'm here for, but we're off to a good start. A very good start. So today I have a new radiator for it. We're gonna slap that in, bleed the cooling system, and have a good time doing it. After starting it, I noticed that at a stop or like when the RPMs are low, the power steering pump is just gone. Like the steering is so stiff, but when you're going, it's fine. Or if you rev it, because I mean, it is manual and I suck at driving manual trucks because I'm not used to it. So when you'd rev it up, it would be okay, but that'll be next on the list. Probably O2 sensors and that stupid evap canister, solenoid, whatever. What are you doing? We got the shop dog today. I think he saw a bug and that's his project for the day. So anyway, let's get this radiator ripped out. Hank, what in the world are you doing? It's not under there. As far as I can tell, you just pull this thing up. Yeah. I just get nervous about breaking things. Gosh, I need to grow a pair sometimes. Pull that up and out of the way. Hopefully it don't spill all over. All right, we'll loosen this clampy, spin it, pull it. Oh yeah, that's dry. So now this coolant reservoir, same thing, just pulls up and out of the way she goes. Well, actually, let's just disconnect it and I'll lay it over there. Oh my God. That had a whole hell of a lot more coolant in it than I gave it credit for. Okay, let's get this thing off now. Somebody put stop leak in this radiator. Been there before, but never going there again because it's terrible. Don't use it. I repeat, do not use stop leak on your freaking coolant system. Makes your head gasket blow up. Clogs coolant passages. Not good. 10 mil, I do believe. Well, that battery's dead. Bolts. Right there. Okay. This is gonna be freaking easy, dude. So we got 2 bolts up top, and I think that's it. Give the dog the onion. Oh, that hurts so bad. I wish you could see that. Oh man. So the commotion that you just heard off camera, my stupid box has had like the sliders for the drawers, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. I'm not gonna, anyway, whatever the fuck those are called, they're supposed to like be stuck when you push the drawer in, right? They're supposed to stop the drawer so it doesn't just flop out. And I've had replacement slides for a while now, but I just haven't gotten around to fixing it. So to keep my drawers shut, I had a bungee cord over the front of the toolbox, and it's been annoying, but at least it works. And I just opened one of the drawers and the bungee cord decided to let go and go directly into my nuts. And it hurt quite bad, actually. That was a shock. Yeah, that hurt. That was not fun. Oh, dude, that's like the fucking easiest radiator I've ever done. Oh. Drain that into the pan. And now, we're fucking good, mate. Okay. Inspector Hank, what do we think? What do we think is wrong? Well, he knows it's in that corner. Watch out. Watch out, mister. Watch out. Freaking big oaf. So, it was leaking from this corner while it was in the truck. Excuse me. I don't see any like major damage, but it was good enough for them to put stop leak in it. Oh, watch out, bud. You can see over here, that's all just dried residue from that shit leaking from somewhere over here. Terrible. Terrible. New one. I'll unbox it. We'll start dropping it in. I will admit, a little while ago, I had a little GMC Sonoma, and I put stop leak in the radiator, in the coolant system, because I didn't want to do a freaking, what was it again that was wrong with it? I think it was the radiator. I think the radiator was slightly leaking, so I put stop leak in it. And then I think maybe the head gasket was going, because the coolant level kept dropping. And I was just a dumb teenager. So I did the stupid thing, but now will never happen again. It's so much better to just replace your stuff. Just do it right the first time. Don't give yourself unnecessary pain in the future. It's just not worth it. Not worth it at all. Sweet. Right into place. Throw that rubber stopper away later. Throw these bolts in. That ain't going nowhere. The hip. Put the shroud back on. Oh! Oh man. Losing my balance. Engaging my posterior chain. Yeah, if you guys didn't know already, I am quite into the gym. Sometimes working on cars really fucking sucks when you lifted the day before. Yesterday, hit some nasty squats. It was a terrible squat day. My goodness. Oh well though, still got her done. Hit some bench, hit some leg press, some lat pull downs, I believe, yeah. And then got the hell up out of there. All right, now we will put the lower hose back on. Now, I should run some water through this. That's what I'm gonna do. I know that the thermostat isn't gonna be open, but I wanna try and get as much of that stop leak out as possible. I'm just gonna run a hose in this real quick, see if that gets some good results. Try and get some water up in this here pipe. All right, my child. Oh, wow, there's a little hummingbird. Squirrel. Put this lower hose on. Cool. That side's good. I'm gonna put the coolant bottle back on, but I'm gonna go drain it. I'm gonna drain it real fast. Man, that stuff is like fluoro green, neon green. Gonna try and clean it out. It's got a whole bunch of shit in the bottom. Blech. It's like brown. Spray it out with a hose. Right, coolant bottle can go back on now. Slap that on. Get us the clamp that fell. I don't even know that there was a clamp on it to begin with, but we'll use this one. Clamp you down to the river. Oh man, this clamp is too small. I've got another one sitting right here. Move this out of the way. Have this guy go in. Bam. All right, top coolant hose can go on now. Hell yeah, brother. All right, let's flush this coolant, fill and, not flush, let's fill the coolant system and bleed it. Stick that in there. Make sure no leaks or nothing. That valve is closed. Glug, 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 glug. Yeah. That's true. All right, so now this little guy is full. We will go start the truck and run it with the heat turned all the way on so that it's circulating coolant through the heater core, and we'll start to bleed this system out. Firing her up. The blower does not work, the AC does not work. This is gonna be boring. I'm gonna go ahead and burp this coolant system, make sure that we're all good here, and I'll be back. All right, so as I was trying to bleed the coolant system, the engine temp gauge was just pinned at all the way hot, which on this gauge is 260 degrees. After letting the truck idle for a bit, the temperature wasn't moving. I was thinking maybe it would come back down once coolant got into the system. Didn't move. And since it was pinned, the little check gauges indicator came up. And so I pulled codes, and there was a code for a temp sensor short circuit or high voltage. So I came in here and I unplugged the temp sensor, and it was still showing high voltage or a super high temperature, which means that it's shorted somewhere. So same thing as with the ignition coil wiring yesterday. I'm just gonna start checking this connector, see where we're shorted, figure it out, fix it, and then go from there. So let's grab a multimeter. So this is gonna be difficult to see. Hopefully you can at least see my multimeter. We got our little tiny plug up here. I guess not tiny, but I mean it's small. So let's go to each other. 2.7 thousand ohms. I'm gonna disconnect the battery and the ECM. Let's try this again. So that's not showing shorted at all. Perhaps it's the position that I have the harness in. Let's pull the plug out a little farther. So this one hasn't been messed with. That's good at least. So that is a bit interesting. It's not shorted to anything. Maybe my leads are jacked up. No. Okay. So let me reconnect the ECM and the battery, and we'll see what kind of voltage that plug is getting. Key is on. Now we'll see voltage here. We're getting 5 volts on this plug. which to me doesn't sound right. I don't think that it would send 5. I would think that it would be sending 12 volts. All right, so the camera died some part of the way through doing some electrical diag. So me being impatient, I plugged the camera in, and next thing I know, it's 4 in the afternoon, so it's been a couple hours, and we got a lot done, actually, so let me fill you in. So last you saw, I was figuring out why the coolant temp was just pinned at max. After screwing around and back probing the ECM and all that junk, I figured out that all it was a loose connector on the sensor itself. Because at one point, all of my readings were looking normal, so I was like, that's really weird. Let me measure the resistance of the sensor itself then. So I plug it in, and I just happened to check the gauge before I kept testing, because I was like, is it okay now? I don't know. And I went in and it was reading correctly. I was like, what? So I went and jiggled the connector a little bit, and then it read incorrectly. So I was like, okay. So I messed with the connector a little bit, put some dielectric grease on it to keep that connection solid, and so far so good. I mean, I haven't driven it anywhere, of course, but that part's good now. Next piece, the blower motor was not coming on inside the truck. That ended up just being a loose fuse inside the passenger compartment on the left side of the dash. I tweaked that fuse a little bit, pushed it in a bit harder. We're golden now. It works on all speeds, so that's good. My wonderful wife was detailing it. We're not done, so I won't show you the finished product, but it looks a whole lot better on the inside, so very pleased about that. Then the AC was not coming on. The AC clutch just was not doing anything. Wasn't receiving any voltage when I switched the AC on, and it was just a relay. I jumped the wires, like at the relay block, I pulled the relay out and just jumped the 2 positive terminals, and AC came right on. So we're good. I ordered that relay. It'll be here tomorrow. Ordered a power steering pump and power steering fluid. Oh, and then to top it all off, I changed the engine oil and oil filter, of course. Now there is a big exhaust leak from somebody doing something with the cat. Show you what I mean. Somebody decided to cut that open and then weld it back like an asshole. Like there's that hole, holes all in the welds along here. This is the only, no, there's still holes in that one, so I'm gonna have to get in here with a freaking angle grinder, grind it down as much as I can, get it as clean as possible, and then just gonna re-weld it. I'm probably just gonna fill the holes. I'm not gonna try and be like Mr. Weldman 3000 and make it look pretty, because that's not gonna happen. Especially because I'm not welding with gas right now. I've just got flux core. You can cringe all you want, but that's just how it be. I don't want to hurt this camera with the sparks and the flux or the spatter going everywhere. So I'm gonna set this down again. I'll fill you guys in when I'm done with that. And then we gotta figure out an O2 sensor situation. So be right back. All right, so I went ahead and did a whole bunch of work. The exhaust I got all plugged up. Still not pretty. Didn't say it was gonna be, but there are no holes now. And then this guy over here was also leaking. And I said, screw it, let's weld this shut too. Again, not pretty because I was fighting sparks all over me, but that sure does look a whole lot better than that does. I don't care what you say. And then there was an exhaust leak coming from where this meets the header up there. Yeah, that clamp right there. That clamp was leaking real good. It was just loose, so I went ahead and tightened it. And now the truck sounds so much better. I'm really pleased with how this thing's coming along. I've been really nervous about it, and going into it I was really nervous about it because I need to make money with this project and I don't have much space to lose money, but we're doing just fine. We're on track. We're great. So I will be doing the power steering pump tomorrow, figuring out the evap check engine light, and then a couple other things on my list that I can't remember off the top of my head. The dash, I gotta mess with that, make it look a lot better. And then road test and see what else it needs, really. So this is going great. Really pleased with it, really pleased with it. Having a lot of fun. So that's all for today. It's not like the YouTube video is gonna end. Don't know why I'm doing like an outro right now. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow when we have the power steering pump. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we're gonna do the power steering pump and then whatever else I can get to. My schedule is a little wonky today, so I hope to complete the power steering, get that all ready to go, and then tomorrow and Friday, I can address all the other little things that we need to fix. And as you can tell, it is a very sunny and hot day today. Apologies for my squinting. I can't help it. Being a blue-eyed individual, the sun hurts my eyes. Back to you. Sound like a fucking news anchor. All right, let's get this going. So we're gonna start by removing the fan shroud and the fan. Well, no, I don't even need to. Oh yeah, I do need to remove the fan because I need to get the shroud out of there. But did this what was that yesterday? That was yesterday that I did the radiator. That's nuts. Every day is just flying. Same thing on this side. Set that up there. What we got going on? Is that hanging up on the fan? It sure is. All right, 3 eternities later, we'll get these freaking bolts out. Oh, they're spinning by hand. Thank you. Dripping sweat down my neck, onto my chinny chin. That's freaking gross. Friggin' gross. All right. Epic. Oh, get some cloud cover. Yes, please. Thank you. Ooh, it just cooled down like 20 degrees. Swear to God. All right. Should give us enough room. Pull this bitty out. Oh, puke. There we go. Tilt it a little back. Bingo. All right. Now, let's take the serpentine belt off. Those clouds didn't last very long. Okay, now gotta press that pulley off. Burn everything else while I'm at it. Ow, shit, I forgot that was hot. Bazinga. Hot. Quite hot. My deepest apologies. Uploading all of this footage to my laptop, somehow the rest of the power steering pump removal process got deleted. Super lame. 45 minutes worth of footage just gone. After you pull that pulley off, it's super simple. There's 3 bolts on the front that hold the pump onto the bracket. You pull it up, there's 2 lines on the back, you loosen those, comes right out. Super simple. So once I had the pump removed, I jacked the front end of the truck up and I turned the wheel from all the way left to all the way right to pump all of the old fluid out of the system. This is so that your new pump doesn't get any of that dirty fluid, or as little dirty fluid as possible. And once I did that enough to where there was no fluid coming out, I put the new pump in and bolted it in, put the lines on, topped it off with fluid, and right here I am essentially doing the same thing that I did to get all the old fluid out. Now I'm just manually turning the wheel side to side to get the fluid started through the system, and this is so that we start the bleeding process, getting all the air out of the system and filling it with the fresh fluid. So I'm gonna cut this down majorly. Not really working out as a full-on tutorial because of all that lost footage. Super lame, but it is what it is. Alright, so just to recap with the power steering pump, you will need a pulley remover and installer tool to get it done. Really, this pump is not hard at all to do. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bolts to remove. Well, and then hoses, but super easy, super easy. Once you take the old pump out, be sure to jack up the front end and turn the car on, truck on, not running. Turn the steering wheel from lock to lock multiple times. Have your hoses that you disconnect from the power steering pump into a drain pan. And as you're turning the wheel, it'll push the power steering fluid that is still in the steering rack out of it. So you're essentially bleeding, or like flushing the system. So that just makes sure that as little old fluid as possible is still in the system, so that you have the cleanest oil possible for your new pump. And then once you're empty there, put the new pump in, bolt it down, put the hoses on, fill it up with power steering fluid. Same thing, go in the truck, turn it on, don't start it, turn it from lock to lock multiple times. This will begin the bleeding process. It'll help everything get lubrication before it's actually spinning at 750 RPM or however many RPM it is because of the size of the pulley or whatever. Then you'll put your pulley on, serpentine belt, fan shroud, finish everything up. Start the truck, go from lock to lock, And it's easiest if you have somebody in the cab doing it, like actually turning it while you watch it. And you're just looking for air bubbles to come up, and then you have them keep going side to side until there are no more air bubbles, and then you're fully bled. And yeah, now you can take it on the road and get it hot, bring it back, check the hot level, top it off, make sure your fluid's good, and then you're done. So I'm gonna get this thing off the jack stands, revisit my list of things that I need to do to this thing, what all we have left, and I'll catch up with you guys when we're on to the next step. As part of this project, one of the things that I'm not going to be fixing is the alignment on the front end and the tires on the front end, because that would just push the whole thing out of my budget range. And it's really things that aren't so bad that it will keep people from buying. I will price accordingly, of course, but I don't think that I could get the same amount out of it. Plus, these wheels are kind of ugly, so I'm gonna kind of sell it as, you know, needs tires, wheels are ugly, maybe go pick up a set on Facebook Marketplace. I've seen plenty for like $500 to $1,000 with decent tires on it, but to verify that the front end is not screwed up, I'm gonna check that now, because the front wheels are off the ground, so I can feel for tie rod looseness, I can feel for ball joint bullshit, wheel bearing mess, all of that, so that if you are the buyer and you're watching this, I'm making good on my promise that I checked it. So let's start on the driver's side here, and I will be as quiet as possible so that you can hear for clunks or movement or anything like that. And I'm gonna set you kind of in line with the wheel so you can see if it's moving at all. I hope that. Pretty tight there. That little bit of movement is just actually, well, is kind of just the second gen steering setup, because it is a, I forget what this setup is called, but that's really not bad at all. What about, oh, that's a bit messed. So it does have some wheel bearing play. Okay, so driver's side does have some wheel bearing play. I did not know that. Let's go check the passenger side. Passenger side now, this tire is a lot more weird, has a lot weirder wear to it. The inside edge has pretty good depth, but outside is pretty worn. So let's see here. No wheel bearing. This side feels pretty tight. Yeah, that does indeed feel pretty tight actually. So passenger side is okay. It will need a driver's side wheel bearing. That's not bad. That's really not that bad. So, all right, now to figure out what else I'm gonna do today to get this thing ready to be sold. All right, so next step, we're gonna figure out this evap code. It is code P1495, and it is for the leak detection pump, which is right here, that guy. So let's get some test leads and what have you, and figure that out. Get it working again. I hope I don't have to replace it, but if I do, oh well. The plug has 3 wires. I'm just gonna unplug it first, see if we can see anything wild. Okay, so we're gonna start with this orange wire here. I'm assuming that will get 12 volts when the truck is on. Find a good ground. And I don't have anything there. Okay, what about this green and white? Nothing. So we might have a wiring issue. Not getting any power. Let's look up a diagram, see where that's supposed to be coming from. Couldn't find a specific wiring diagram. I didn't hunt that hard, but I'm gonna hunt it out on my own. I'm gonna figure this out. So we're not getting any power to any of it. Let's see if we're getting ground. I mean, the obvious issue is the power side of the circuit, but let's just verify that we don't have anything dumb going on with the ground side as well. Got ground. Yep. Got plenty of ground. And it's actually the white and the green and the orangish red wires are full ground. So we're looking for power on that blue and black. Maybe just straight up blue. All right though. Challenge accepted. Challenge understood. What I could understand from my hunting online is that this leak detection pump and this solenoid share the same power. Like the same system applies power to both of these guys. So let's see, let's look all around the harness. I don't see any like nicks or anything, any cut open BS going on. I'm gonna check for continuity between the solenoid and the leak detection pump power wires. I know the answer, because I mean, even if these were supposed to be directly connected to one another to supply 12 volts to each of these components, it's not going to have any continuity right now because I'm not getting any power on this one. Yeah, nothing. Let's look at our fuse panel. Nothing that would be evap related, I don't think. Let's check the in-cabin fuel panel, or fuse panel, fuel panel. I believe that it's all off of the ignition FD fuse, number 11. Let's pull that and see what we got. If I take that out, Whole bunch of stuff goes crazy. The fuse is not blown.
Winston.
Hey, Winston, come here. No, oh my goodness. He almost knocked the freaking camera over. Let's go check if it has power now. Oh, hello. Hello there, Mr. Winston. Hello there, wifey. Oh my God. So still no power here. None at all. I'm gonna hunt for a better diagram, for an actual diagram, so that I'm not just spinning my wheels here, because that's stupid. All right, I figured it out. No thanks to the internet either, because I could not find any wiring diagrams. Okay, so to start things off, just follow with me. So this plug, the blue wire is the power source, and I know that it was getting ground, so the issue was on the power side of the whole circuit. So I traced the main harness from the passenger side all the way over here. I tapped in to the harness right there, verified that there was continuity between that point and the plug, and there was. So then from here I went up into the fuse panel, and there were 4 all blue wires, and 2 of them had power, and they were not they did not have continuity with the other blue wire that we're trying to find, but the other 2 that were in this harness did have continuity to that plug and to the wire over here. So I had to figure out where those blue wires were going in here to determine, because I checked all of the fuses, all the relays work, so I was kind of baffled. I also checked all of the in-cab fuses. None of them were blown. None of them were making a difference if I was jiggling them around. Didn't matter. So I popped the fuse panel open like this. I found where the blue wire was going, and it is going to the transmission relay, which was in this spot right here. And I took it out, and I'm gonna keep it as a spare because it doesn't need a transmission relay anymore because it has been manual swapped. One of the blue wires was going here, and it was not getting any power, so the relay was not turning on, go figure. But the relay itself was not feeding power to the blue wire going to the pump. That means that the second blue wire that was coming in here was feeding that blue wire at the transmission relay, and so it was like a shared circuit. So I went back and I looked for the second blue wire, and I found it going into the underside of this group right here, which if you unplug it, it's just a big old plug, right? And what's crazy, what I figured out is that there is no wire going to that blue wire. It's supposed to be in this second slot right here. That second slot that's empty, there's supposed to be a wire there feeding 12 volts to that system. I assume that whoever manual swapped this took that wire out because that was part of the whole process, but I don't think that they realized that that affects multiple systems, not just the transmission relay and that whole system. So now what I'm gonna need to do is feed 12 volts to that wire, and I think how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna unpin it and pull it out the back, and then run my own independent wire or tap into one of the wires very close by, and then we'll have power to the circuit. ECM will be able to read that that pump is working. Fingers crossed, hopefully it's not gone, but at least the pump will get power, so then that completes this step. Kind of wacky. So this is what I did. Okay, so that guy right there that pin, that is the blue wire, and I unpinned it from its location and went to the one right next to it because it gets 12 volts when the key is on. And I just essentially back probed it and then secured it in place with electrical tape, and it's not moving at all. Has perfect continuity with the pin on the other side. So now we're gonna plug it in and we're gonna have power to that freaking plug by the pump. Grab this plug. Let's go, baby. 12.7 volts. Bam. So now we can go ahead, plug it back in, put everything back together that I just took apart, clear the code, go run it, and see if it comes back. But first I'm gonna fix the parking brake. I think it just needs an adjustment, and then the sensor says it's always applied, so gotta figure that out now. But that's a win. Let's fucking go. All right, we are that much closer to being done with this truck. I am in the garage because my camera died, so I'm kind of tethered to a charger right now. But since the last clip, I got the above cab lights working. Can I see them from here? Oh man, not to talk too much trash, but he did not know how to wire things, let's just say that. So fixed that, those work now. Removed a bunch of just wires that were going to nowhere. Subwoofer wiring, took that out because it just looked like shit. Adjusted the parking brake, so that's good now. The indicator on the dash still says that it's always on. It's not a sensor issue. It's the sensor itself is getting the correct voltage. Kind of worn out with electrical today, to be quite honest, so I'm gonna revisit that either tomorrow or next week, whatever. And the check engine light is now gone. No more check engine light. Thank you, Jesus. Hopefully it stays that way through test driving and using the truck for truck stuff, because what's a good project truck without some shenanigans, some towing, some BS. So let's look at my list. I have to wait for the window switches to get here for the passenger side. Gotta polish the glass on the outside because it kind of looks just dingy and crappy. Clean the exterior. I'm still debating if I want to do anything with the dash because it's got that like the plastic cover in there right now, and it's got adhesive all over it, but I'm not sure that I want to screw with it because if I break it, then that won't be great. But yeah, this list is shrinking, thank goodness. So awesome. I think now I'm going to go take it around the block and see if anything else is bugging, and also test that power steering pump to make sure that it's all good. No reason that it wouldn't be, but just making sure, you know. So not sure when I'll film again, but I'll be back. All right, check engine light is back on for that second O2 sensor, the post cat. So definitely gonna have to get a new O2 sensor. But oh well, let's go on drive and release the damn parking brake. Doesn't drive too bad. It really doesn't. Even with the front end needing an alignment. Stops nicely, brakes don't squeak. Felt it pull a little bit, but it's not a showstopper, but it gets the work done. Let's see how it is on the freeway. Participate in distracted driving. Like an old truck. It's not too bad. It's really not bad. Not bad at all. All right, there you guys have it. 2001 Dodge Ram 2500 crank no start project complete. I posted another video just recapping all the stuff that I fixed on this thing. But I mean, if you've been watching this, then you know, of course. I will be selling it. I am in Utah, so if you see this within the next couple weeks, then hit me up, comment, whatever, if you want to buy it. If not, I really hope that you enjoyed this video and the project as a whole. If you want to see more trucks, let me know. If you would rather see cars, let me know. I'm really game for either. So last summer, I did one project car because I was still like a full-time mechanic at that point. And that was a Mazda 6. And that was a pretty fun one, a lot simpler than this one. This one took a lot more work, but this one was fun to work on. Like having so much room in the engine bay, and like all the sensors are so easy to get to and all the readings are easy to get, really hasn't been that bad. So what should the next project be? Comment below, let me know, and I'll see you guys next time for the next project.